Do you like surprises? I know I do. Well, yesterday I had a lovely surprise when this package was delivered to my front door. The only thing is, I haven't opened it yet, but later on today we will have a look at what is inside this box. So please don't go away. Stay with us. Lots of surprises coming your way. This is English Addict coming to you live and direct from the birthplace of the English language, which is, of course, England. Ooh, here we are. We're back. We are back with a vengeance, baby.
A vengeance. Hello, everybody. Hello, Mr. Duncan. I know I've already said hello to you today, but I'm going to say it again anyway.
Well, you can say it here on the live stream.
I can. Hello, Mr. Duncan.
Hello, Mr. Steve. We are back together. Hi, everybody. This is Mr. Duncan, and I think you might already know by now that is Mr. Steve. We love the English language, and we are back once again. We are together with another English Addict Extra. It is an extra slice, if you please.
A midweek bonanza.
Yes.
We could say. It's very warm outside, Mr. Duncan.
I know, it's around about, well, at the moment on my computer it says 11 degrees.
Yeah, so yesterday it was probably 2 degrees. Today it's 11. It's a big jump. Jump.
Of course, it wouldn't be a live stream from England without talking about the weather, because you know what it's like here. English people, we love talking about the weather. It is often used in conversation. Maybe when you meet someone in the street, someone might say good morning or hello, and the other person might say, oh, isn't it cold today? Or isn't it hot today? Or isn't it windy today?
Yes, British people use the weather as a friendly way of getting conversation going. Because you need to say something, don't you, to get conversation going with people. And with the weather, it's always, oh, what do you think of the weather today? Or, oh, it's a bit cold. Or it's a bit wet. Because in England, the weather's never the same.
No,
From one day to the next, it's always different.
We never have the same weather.
Very rarely.
2 days in a row. So yesterday was weird. Today it's warm. It's very warm and damp. We've had lots of rain, but it's very damp and mild. It doesn't feel like midwinter, I will be honest with you. Anyway, we are here together again. We've made it all the way to Wednesday. It is lovely to be with you. I hope your week so far has been rather nice. We have lots of things to look at today, including, yes, as I mentioned at the start, on my pre-recorded video, we are going to take a look at what is inside the box that I received at the start of the week. What is in there? That surprise is coming up. We also have a little anniversary. A significant event took place 10 years ago today. It might not be significant for you, but for us, it is a significant anniversary today. What else are we talking about? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Steve.
Yes.
I believe
somebody's having a good week.
Someone out there in YouTube land has recently celebrated their birthday.
Yes.
Are we talking about a certain birthday boy called Vitas?
We are.
Hello, Vitas. We received your message yesterday, and can I say happy birthday? Belated, of course. Belated. Something that comes after the event we often describe as belated. So, belated birthday greetings to Vitas, and I hope you had a super duper day yesterday.
21 again. We don't ask ages. Well, you can ask men their age. We're not going to ask. I mean, if you want to tell us, you can, but you don't normally. You certainly never ask a woman her age.
You never?
Well, it's always seen as rude. Probably in the UK, certainly, probably in most parts of the world, I would say.
Well, I think so. I think it's personal.
Yes.
It's almost as bad as asking a person how much they earn from their job.
The older you get, the more years you can knock off and get away with it, by the way.
Really?
Yes, you can get away with, the older you get, you can knock off more and more years, and it's believable.
So you can always reduce your age, like us. So a lot of people don't believe that we are the age that we are. So what about you, Steve? What do you think you could possibly reduce your age by as a slight lie? So maybe you want to make yourself feel better. You can just say, oh, maybe I am how old?
Well, of course, in these lights, we look magnificently younger than we actually are. Yeah. In reality, if you met us face to face, I don't know. I could probably knock 10 years off, probably, and get away with it. Some people, because when people ask how old you are, and then you tell them, then it's courtesy to always say to somebody, "Oh, you don't look your age." Because that's what people want to hear. Everybody lies when they. If you say to somebody, how old are you? And they say 50, and you say, oh yeah, you look 50. Nobody would ever say that because it would be impolite and rude. So you would always say, oh, you look very good. You look very good for your age, or you only look 40. So I don't know whether, because people say to me, oh, you only look, I'm 61, soon to be 62.
62 next month. And people often say to me, oh, you only look sort of late 40s, early 50s or something. But you don't know if they're lying to you or not. Yeah. So anyway, back to the point I was making.
Yes.
So, Mr. Steve, you think you could say that you are 52 and people would... And people would believe you. So from my point of view, I think I could still say that I'm maybe 40, 41. Don't laugh.
I'm joking for comic effect. But no, we hope Vitas had a lovely day yesterday. Well, you see, the funny thing is, and I've mentioned this before, is a lot of you know my mother sadly died last year. But
that's the funny thing.
No, what's funny is that I only found out from all her friends who attended her funeral that my mother had been lying about her age to everybody for years.
So that's it, you see. So how old was your mother?
Well, she was 92.
And how old did she say she was?
She took 10 years off, said she was 82. Everybody thought she was 10 years younger than she was, which was a big surprise to me because she would always say that her sister, she would always criticise her sister for always lying about her age, and yet I found out that my mother was... I mean, it's not a serious lie, is it?
I think, and let's be honest, because here, you may have noticed here, we just say what we think. Sometimes it gets us into a little bit of trouble. Sometimes nobody cares about what we say. But I think everyone lies at some point about their age, that even unconsciously, even to themselves. So you might look in the mirror and you might actually look at yourself, and unconsciously or subconsciously you are actually taking those years off. You might not even realise you're doing it. You're just going by the appearance, the reflection that you see staring back at you. I'm always fascinated by these things, by the way. Human nature does fascinate me.
It's the live chat, we've got two different opinions here. You see, we've got Christina saying that we only look 40.
Oh.
And then Ewa P saying, yeah, he looks 62. So it's funny, isn't it? So I take it that's... Well, I don't... Do you know Ewa P? Has Ewa P been here before?
EWAP.
Are you new?
Who are you? You're not Tomek in disguise, are you?
Probably.
It sounds like the sort of thing Tomek would say.
It's the sort of thing Tomek would definitely say.
I think so. So thank you for that. So apparently we only look like we might be around 40, which is lovely. That's very nice. It's still a bit old, though.
The lights, you see, making us look younger.
I would prefer 36 or 35, but there you go. You can't have everything in this world.
But yeah, it is something that people comment. And when you get to sort of 70, 80, 90 years old, you can take off 10, 20 years and no one's going to question it because... And that's the other thing we've said before. If it's not really a compliment, if when you're, say, 80, somebody says, oh, you look 10 years younger. I mean, looking 70 is still not good.
So if you're 94 and someone says, you only look 86...
Or 80.
It's still not really a compliment.
Or even if they say you only look 70, it's not really a compliment because you still look old.
So we do have to be careful sometimes what we say.
It's funny,
especially when we are commenting on a person's appearance. I think these days, my throat is being annoying today. I think these days, men are just as worried as women. I think in the past, men didn't really care, but these days I think they do.
Are you new, EWAP? Are you new to this channel? If so, welcome. And we'll take, all sorts of abuse. Up to a point, because we've got moderators that will help us out, thankfully, if you go too far. But yeah, we're not up for a bit of ribbing.
Yes,
a bit of joke telling.
We don't mind. We're physical abuse. Verbal abuse.
Well, not physical. We don't want that.
We're just glad of the attention, to be honest.
Exactly, and anything's good or bad. I mean, that's why people go on social media, isn't it? And Twitter. There was an interesting thing about Twitter I read the other day. I mean, I thought this was I was reading a news article this morning because Germany have been trying to decide whether to give these Leopard tanks, haven't they, to Ukraine, and. Apparently, within Germany, within the political parties in Germany, and if there's somebody watching from Germany, they can tell us.
Is there a point?
Yeah, the point is that the politicians within Germany were having an argument with each other on Twitter about whether they should send the tanks or not. And then somebody pointed out that maybe supposedly top politicians should not be arguing things out in public on Twitter about such a serious matter as this. Well, so I thought, people like to get attention, don't they? But that's the point I'm making.
But I think Twitter, certain social media sites have become platforms for politicians. And I suppose the big change occurred when Donald Trump became president of the USA. And because he has a very high profile on social media and also in the entertainment industry, it did change the way politicians, people in power, the way they communicate with each other. So I don't think it's very unusual to see high-ranking officials or maybe politicians having a little battle or a little war of words on the internet.
Belarusia, Claudia. Hello, Claudia.
Claudia!
Of course, people have been asking, what have you got cooking? And Belarus, Claudia, has used an interesting expression. Today, a pie in the oven.
Oh, as long as it isn't a bun in the oven.
That's what I was going to say. Because if you say you've got a bun in the oven, a bun obviously is like a cake.
Yes.
It means you're pregnant. It's an expression we use in England. I don't know whether other countries use it. So have you got a bun in the oven?
Yes. So if you have a bun in the oven, it is a type of phrase that we use, an idiom for expecting a baby, maybe in the early stages of pregnancy.
So we're assuming you're not pregnant.
You might tell your friends that you have a bun in the oven.
And it's a sort of a polite way of saying you're pregnant. Sometimes sounds, it's a bit of a harsh word, isn't it?
Is it?
Think.
Oh.
Pregnant. I'm pregnant. It sort of sounds a bit.
What?
It doesn't sound nice, but if you say, I've got a bun in the oven,
maybe it
sounds more pleasant.
Maybe it sounds too clinical.
Yes, it sounds a bit clinical. But yeah, there we go. Obviously, you don't have a bun in the oven. You've got a pie in the oven, unless unless you are trying to tell us something else.
Okay, Steve. Just keep digging that hole. So today we are looking at words and phrases connected to significant moments, significant times, because today we are having a significant anniversary. 10 years ago, today, on the 25th of January 2013, we moved here.
Today?
Today,
I forgot.
the 25th of January.
Forgot our anniversary, Mr. Duncan.
So it's the anniversary of us moving here to Much Wenlock. Would you like to see a video image of one of the first video images that I filmed after we moved here? Would you like to see it?
Go on.
You won't recognise it. It's amazing. Here it is.
Did we not look any older?
It's not us. So there is the view out of the window of my studio. And that is way back in 2013. You can see it has changed quite a lot. You will notice that the trees on the left are much shorter, and also the tree that you can see on the right has gone completely. We had that chopped down because it was far too large. And also outside my studio window there were lots of plants that were growing far too high. So the view out of the window now looks very different from the view that you can see there. So that was way back in 2013, just after we moved here. Would you like to see another thing? This is one of the first video sequences that I filmed after we moved here. And this will give you a clue as to how the weather was. So you can see when we first moved here, it was snowing. In fact, the day we moved in, the snow had just fallen and everything was covered in thick snow. And there is one of the first ever videos that I filmed from the window. And you can see there are some little blue tits having a feed on the birdhouse. So that birdhouse has now gone because it fell to pieces. So that was actually left for us by the previous owners, but it sadly fell apart and it no longer exists. But I thought it was interesting to have a look at some views, and here's another view from the window. I don't think this view has changed very much, Steve. I think this one is still pretty the same, pretty similar. So this was from 10 years ago.
Wow. very
2013.
snowy.
Yes. And would you like to see the studio that we're in right now? Here it is, Steve, on the screen right now. So there is the studio that we are in, and that's what it looked like before we ripped everything out, almost everything.
It was a bedroom, wasn't it?
It was a bedroom, and it was used by the previous owners, but of course we decided to repurpose the room and we turned it into my lovely studio, and that's what it looks like now. So the room that we are in now used to look like that, but now it looks like that.
You haven't got all the cameras and your computer equipment in there yet, Mr. Duncan.
So this was just after I finished decorating the room and changing things. But now, of course, this room is full of computer equipment, lights, and sometimes Mr. Steve and myself are in this room doing all sorts of things.
It's somebody else's birthday. It's somebody's birthday today.
Is it?
Yes, President Zelensky's birthday today.
Is it really?
He's 44. Well, he could get the mother of all
Actually,
birthday presents.
I think he looks slightly older than 44.
I'm not surprised with the strain of what he's been going through.
Because I saw some video footage of President Zelensky taken a couple of years before he became the president, but he only looked about 20.
Well, you can imagine the strain of having to manage your country going to war. So it's Zelensky's birthday today. He's may well get a very nice birthday present in the form of hundreds of Leopard tanks
Yes.
from Europe. Imagine what kind of birthday present that would be, what a celebration he's going to have if he gets that.
Yes.
That's going to make his birthday, because I think they're due to make an announcement today
Yes.
on that.
Fortunately, no nukes yet.
Oh, let's talk about that, Mr. Duncan.
No nukes. So maybe that's on his birthday list as well. But all he's got is... So he might be a bit disappointed that all he's got are just some tanks. Maybe he wanted a couple of...
Well, we don't want to ramp that up, Mr. Duncan.
I'm not, well, I don't think we're going to be responsible for ramping up the Third World War. I think we're okay there, Steve.
Yes, but who was first, Mr. Duncan, today? You haven't mentioned that yet.
First on today's live chat, congratulations to Beatrice. You are first today.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
But really, I think the first 5 or 6 people probably all went on at the same time, because I think it can't put you all on at the same time. So I think obviously Lewis was there, Vitas was there, Paolo was there, Beatrice was there, Mosen and Palmyra and Claudia, all at the same sort of time.
And
so you're all winners.
And of course, I have to say hello to Luis Mendez. He's here today. Hello, Luis. Nice to see you back as well.
Yeah, so we hope you had a lovely birthday yesterday, Vitas. We've come full circle. And yeah, we just hope you had a lovely day and you had lots of nice presents.
Yes.
There in Lithuania, I think it is, isn't
And
it, Vitas?
somebody else is having a birthday. As we mentioned earlier, Steve will be another year older. He wants to say 52.
I want to say 42.
But no one would believe you.
That's true.
42, 52, or maybe 62. He hasn't made up his mind yet. So, Mr. Steve, you have your birthday coming in February. Are you looking forward to it?
Well, you don't really look forward to birthdays as you get older. It doesn't bother me. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm sure a lot of you, when you're getting older, you don't. Having said that, I do know friends that do worry a lot about significant dates. You know, the decade birthdays, 40, 50, 60s. I think 70. I think I might feel a bit down at 70.
Yeah. Well,
but I'm not going to worry about it.
Look on the bright side. 8 years from now, we will all be here together. We'll be celebrating your 70th birthday. You'll be sitting in your little bath chair.
Do you think we'll all still be friends in 8 years' time?
With your ear trumpet, trying to listen to the conversation taking place. So I'm sure you will be okay.
Will we all still be here? I mean, I don't mean physically. I mean, will we all still be here on the live stream in 8 years' time?
Yes.
Watching Mr. Duncan.
I think so.
And myself.
I'm not going anywhere, despite the fact that a lot of people wish I would. But no, I'm not going anywhere. So 8 years from now, 8 years, that's a long time, of course, in the future. But that's 32, isn't it? 32.
31.
31.
31.
2031. My goodness.
Yes, and 2030, that'll be a year after the European ban on cars with internal combustion engines.
Although secretly we know that's not going to happen. There is no way that's going to happen. Anyway, talking of anniversaries, talking of significant things, are you ready to find out what was in the box? I'm sure a lot of people want to see this. So we are now going to take a short break, but we are going to take a look also at what was in the box that I received this week. I had a lovely surprise. There was a big, strong man standing at my door with a large package.
I didn't see that.
And to be honest with you, it cheered me up a lot. So he let me hold the package in my hand.
Right.
I took it in the house and...
You haven't had an assault charge then?
And what happened next is what happened next. So, At the start of today's live stream, I showed you this package. It arrived yesterday and it was delivered to my house in the morning. A nice surprise. It was a nice man with a package. It was this package, and I'm always happy to see a package at my door, especially when it's a large one like this. Let's have a look then. Without any more waiting, let us open the box. Right, the moment of truth. Let's have a look what is inside the box. Is it something nice, or maybe it is something not so nice? We will see. Opening the box right now. Oh, very interesting. Oh. Inside the box, the mystery box that was delivered yesterday. Oh my goodness. A letter, a personal letter from YouTube. Ooh, very nice. You did it. One mission, one channel, and one more thing. 1 million subscribers. Congratulations. You may have started with just a few viewers, but your incredible voice, passion, and creativity has now touched the lives of so many people around the world. Yes, that is true. And the community that you've built is immeasurably enriched by the stories that you've shared as you bring people together. Isn't that nice? Very nice. Finally, the unveiling of what is in the box. Oh my goodness. And guess what? It says on the front, presented to English Addict with Mr. Duncan for passing 1 million subscribers. It is my YouTube play button. It has arrived. So there it is. It's official. I now have a YouTube play button, my gold one. Of course, I haven't got a silver one because I reached 100,000 subscribers before they started making these. So that's the reason why I don't have a silver award. The other thing I've noticed is it's incredibly heavy. I don't know what it's made of, but it weighs a ton. It's not real gold, is it? It might be. So here we go. Let's have a look at it in all its glory. Wow. Okay, I have to say, that is pretty neat. It's official. I have my official gold play button from YouTube. Thank you very much, YouTube, for sending this to me. And I suppose also I should say thank you as my subscribers. Each one of you has allowed me to receive this. And of course, it's taken a long time to get to this point. 16 years it's taken me, but here we are. We've arrived finally at 1 million subscribers, and to prove it, I have my gold play button. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you, YouTube, and thanks a lot to you for watching me and supporting me for all these years. And here it is in all its glory, my YouTube golden button. I have to say I'm really impressed with this. It's so heavy. I actually thought maybe it was a piece of gold.
It's very reflective.
Yes.
I wonder if that's actually gold in the mirror. I must admit, I'm quite impressed. And they actually got the spelling right of your channel.
Yes.
And everything. And the letter was personally signed. Actually, not just a rip-off signature, not a printed signature, an actual pen-written signature from the CEO of YouTube.
Susie, as I call her.
Yes.
So there it is.
So
It's now official. I have my gold play button. I think it will be a long time before I get my diamond play button.
Is that for 2 million?
That is, I think it must be for 10 million. So when you reach 10 million subscribers, I think you get a diamond one. It's the most amazing looking thing. But I have to say, this looks pretty cool as well.
It does.
So there it is. It's official. English Addict with Mr. Duncan. Congratulations for passing 1 million subscribers. And
Olga says, where is the champagne? Well,
yes,
we were live when, of course, Mr. Duncan achieved a 1 million subscribers some months ago.
Yes.
It's taken a while for this to arrive from YouTube. But if you remember, if any of you were watching at the time or have seen the video, when was that?
Well, that would have been around, I want to say end of July, because your mother was staying here.
That's right. So somewhere around the end of July, there is a live stream where we actually counted up when we got to 1 million subscribers.
The only problem was it kept dropping back down and then going back up.
Yeah.
So we had to celebrate about 10 times before it stopped going back down. But we did it, and we did drink lots of champagne. But today we can't, you see, because I said so many things that I now regret during that live stream.
We were drunk. Olga says she remembers it. So, yes, it was quite funny. It was quite, it kept going up and down, up and down. We celebrated about 20 times reaching 1 million, because it reached 1 million and then it went down again and then it went back up to 1 million. Then it went down again. It went on and on and on. But it was quite good fun.
And because of that, I got drunk and I said things. I said things that maybe now, on reflection, maybe I should not have said. But I said it, and it's out there. It's in the public domain now.
Well, you haven't been cancelled, so you're fine.
Nothing I can do about it. Hello, Jimmy. Well deserved, Mr. Duncan and Mr. Steve. You deserved that. You deserved that 10 years ago. Well, I suppose so. The thing is, and I think it's worth mentioning, there are very few people who are still active on YouTube who were around when I started doing this way back in 2006. So I don't want to keep talking about this because I'm sure it's boring for you. But when I started, there were lots of people on YouTube, but not many because it was in its very early days. So you might describe me as one of the original YouTubers. In fact, I was the first ever English teacher on YouTube way back in 2006. But there are very few people on now still producing content who were on at the same time as I was. So I still think it's quite amazing that I'm still here 16 years later, despite all of the problems and all of the trouble that I've had with YouTube and all of the publishers and music publishers and all of the copyright claims and all of the small disputes that I've had with lots of people, and I've had to get them sorted out. Lots of problems.
The algorithm changes.
And of course, the
into that.
The algorithms.
There should be an award for how long you've been producing on YouTube. I think that should have its own award. That we ought to suggest that to YouTube. We might write to Susie and suggest that she gives out awards for longevity.
Yeah.
Because it's relatively easy to get 100,000 subscribers, and a lot of people have got 1 million subscribers, but they might only do it for 2 or 3 years and then give up, whereas Mr. Duncan's been doing it for 15 years. Anyway, enough of that.
The thing is that success on YouTube is not about time, it is about eyes on the screen, and that's all most people think about. It's a bit like TV companies as well. When they make a TV show, all they're really interested in are the numbers of eyes watching their shows, because that means that there are other things that will then happen. Ad revenue, for example. So it's always good when you have lots of people watching, But the length of time that you've been doing it for quite often isn't as important. And on YouTube, that is definitely the case. I think so. So today we've had the celebration, so it's now official. I don't know where I'm going to put it. Someone just asked where I was going to stick it. I might put it on the wall, although there isn't much wall space in here because everywhere is soundproofed. So I'll try and find somewhere to put it. But that is the only time you're going to see my YouTube gold button. So you won't see it again. So that's it. It's done.
Lewis remembers that you were drunk in the end and he didn't like to see you like that.
Oh, I see.
Yes, it was an emotional time for Mr. Duncan because he'd reached 1 million subscribers, but he also knew that he was being held back by the algorithms on YouTube, which only favour certain. Anyway, we won't go into that. Right, we've mentioned that before.
That's it.
Let's get on and teach.
Do you want to see something nice?
We just did.
Well, you're going to see something equally as nice.
Okay.
The bird that was hanging around our garden a few weeks ago has returned.
Oh.
Yes, there it is. Do you remember what it's called?
Was it the pied wagtail?
It is.
Your camera there makes it look gigantic.
It does.
It makes it look like it's about 2 foot across.
Yes, they're not very large birds. They are slightly larger than a robin, but not as large as a blackbird.
But the way you filmed it there, it makes it look gigantic.
Yes.
It makes it look as big as a pigeon.
I have slowed it down slightly as well to give it so you can see the detail more clearly. But there it is, the wagtail. The pied wagtail has returned to the garden. It doesn't look very happy though. It's a very timid bird. So that's the reason why I'm so surprised that it's actually come into the garden.
It's only about 10 centimetres long, isn't it? Probably, I would say.
Yes, it's well, as I said, it's slightly larger than a robin. In fact, it's quite violent towards other birds, even robins. So it will attack robins if the robins come down. But there it is, a very unusual bird. We don't normally get them in the garden. There are lots of them in Much Wenlock around the recreation ground, and there is a pigeon going by. You can get the scale now, you see.
The pigeon looks the size of a dinosaur.
It does look like a dinosaur because I've slowed the video down. But where? Oh, there it is.
Old man from Bangkok is here today.
Oh,
I noticed earlier because we did mention on about the celebrations going on in certain parts of the world, China and the East, as we call it, from where we are. Because in Vietnam it was the year of the cat, wasn't it?
Yes,
so
very strange.
Were you celebrating, old man from Bangkok, as you call yourself? I'm not saying that. That's what you call yourself. Were you celebrating your Lunar New Year on Sunday? Is that why you weren't here?
That must be Udem.
Yes, I
Udem.
think it is, yes.
One of our regular viewers from Thailand. Hello to you. So yes, the Lunar New Year is celebrated across Asia. But the interesting thing...
Thailand, yes, I thought Vietnam. I got that wrong then, didn't I?
The interesting thing is that the rabbit is the official Lunar New Year animal for this year. But in Vietnam, they are celebrating the year of the cat, which caused quite a lot of confusion.
And Jim is here as well, from Hong Kong as well.
Yep.
Who no doubt will also have been celebrating the Lunar New Year, which will be... the rabbit, won't it, for Hong Kong?
It is. Most countries are celebrating the year of the rabbit, so it's only Vietnam that's decided to go to the pussycat instead. Can I also mention the fact that in China, lots of people move around. In fact, it is the largest movement of human beings on the planet during the Chinese New Year. So when that happens, it is the largest movement. So imagine hundreds of millions of people travelling to different parts of the country in which they live. So in China, lots of people live hundreds, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 miles away. So it takes a very long time to travel because quite often there are no direct links. So if you travel by road in China, you might find that you travel twice the distance, even though you're not travelling all that far if you were going directly from one place to another. So flying, travelling by train, by the way, I have experienced travelling by train overnight in China. And let's just say it's a very interesting experience. I was sleeping in a bunk bed. There were 3 bunks, one at the bottom, one in the middle, and one at the top. And I was in the middle. And unfortunately, the guy above me kept farting. And that's my first memory of being in China after arriving there. I had to travel for 13 hours by train from Beijing to the place where I was working. And the guy above me, he kept farting during the night. And that's my first memory.
And you stayed for 4 years.
I know.
Rhubarb's here today as well. Hello, Rhubarb. Rhubarb. Congratulations. A lot of people have congratulated you, Mr. Duncan. But yeah, so yes, it's great that you've had that recognition.
Yes.
Right.
It's very nice.
Let's move on, as they say.
So we might describe an anniversary as something that is maybe significant, maybe something that is significant or perhaps also important as well. So we might say that an anniversary or a date or maybe a moment of time as it passes. So maybe something that happens to you during a certain period of time might become significant. And the word significant can also be used to describe something important, something notable, something momentous. I like that one because you've got moment in that word. So it is momentous, it is worthy of remembering. It is a moment that will stay in your mind. It is momentous, it is noteworthy. So maybe something that you actually write down in your diary. You write it down somewhere. You say, "Ooh, today I received my gold play button from YouTube." So that would be noteworthy, something that is worth recording or writing down.
There's another expression which has crept into the English language called significant other.
Well, we might be looking at that in a moment.
Oh, right. Okay. Right.
Yes.
Of course, I don't know what Mr. Duncan's prepared. I just come into this totally unprepared.
This is all completely spontaneous, by the way. Considerable is another way of expressing significant. Considerable. Something is significant. Maybe something noticeable. A large thing can also be described as significant. Maybe there is a storm coming your way, and they might describe it as a significant storm. Something that is large, something that might be destructive, can be significant as well. Large, considerable, noteworthy, momentous, notable, and important.
So these are all synonyms, are they, for significant?
Generally, yes. Yes. So you can use all of those instead of significant. But generally speaking, something large might be significant, especially if it may or may not cause destruction, damage, or maybe a disturbance of some sort. So as Mr. Steve rightly said, and you did say it rightly, we can describe the person in our life, maybe that special person, our soulmate, maybe. We can describe them as the significant other. So your significant other is your partner, maybe your husband, your wife,
yes,
your girlfriend, your boyfriend, maybe your live-in lover. Ooh.
And this phrase, people might wonder why this phrase is used. I'm not sure how long it's been used, but I do know about 3 or 4 years ago at work, they suddenly asked us for the names of our, as they described it, our significant other.
Oh, I see.
And a number of us didn't know what that meant. And it's a phrase that's used so that people don't have to say whether they're married or not. So you don't have to identify whether you've got a wife or a husband or a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Maybe you don't want to tell people what that is. So the phrase significant other covers all those possibilities.
Yes. And of
without you having to reveal, because some people might say, well, I don't want to say whether I'm married or not. Why should I say it's my wife or my husband?
Yeah.
You know, it's people thinking that they're being discriminated against in some way.
Yeah, or maybe it's a personal thing and they don't want to tell other people. So these days we often use the word partner.
Or partner, yes.
Yes, partner is very commonly used. So maybe, are you married? Or do you have a partner? So that's a more polite way of saying, do you have someone, maybe you are living with them and you're not married. But these days, to be honest, no one really cares about that in this country. So if you are married or if you're not married, you can describe that person as your significant other. They are the special person in your life.
Or partner. I think they're pretty much interchangeable. I don't know why significant other would be used in place of partner. Maybe you don't like the word partner. Maybe you.
Well, I think this is general anyway. For even if you're married to them.
Yes, so I know, but I don't know why you wouldn't say partner as a way of getting round that. Having to reveal whether you're married or not married, or whether you've got a girlfriend, a boyfriend.
Well, this is a sort of romantic way of saying it as well. It's quite a romantic way. When you say your significant other, it's the person who is closest to you. They know all of your darkest secrets. They know everything about you.
Yeah, because partner could mean a partner in business or a partner. Partner doesn't necessarily mean you're having a relationship with that person romantically, whereas significant other definitely means it's a romantic relationship, whereas partner you could say, oh, John is my partner, and somebody might say, oh, does he mean partner in business or are they lovers? There's a bit of confusion with the word partner, I think, so significant other means you don't want to tell people. You want to tell people you've got somebody significant in your life,
yes,
and a romantic relationship, but you don't want to necessarily tell them whether it's a man, a woman, whether you're married or not, divorced or whatever.
It just makes it's just a neutral way of saying that you are attached to someone, or maybe just that you have someone special in your life.
Zershid says hi.
Oh.
Really good to see you both. It's good to see you here as well. And Zershid said, my significant other doesn't speak English very well, but often we watch together.
Oh.
So we know that your significant other, we don't know who they are, and we wouldn't pry into that. But you watch, so that's great. That's a great way of using that sentence, using that phrase.
Okay, another use now of significant. A significant event. So I suppose I've mentioned this earlier about our 10th anniversary living here in Much Wenlock. So we moved 10 years ago today. We arrived here. Everywhere was covered with snow. Everywhere was covered with snow completely. And I remember the removal van. There was a huge lorry with all of our belongings inside, and it was having difficulty getting up some of the hills, unfortunately. So that, for us, is a significant event.
Yeah, it could be a significant event. Could be an anniversary, could be a birthday, or it could be the ending of a war,
Yeah.
or the start of a war, or when something really momentous happens, like when Princess Diana died. That's a significant, well, probably momentous event.
Yeah. Well, it can be significant in the fact that changes occurred after that. So it was a point of time where things altered.
Yes.
And quite often unexpectedly as well. So it can be used for negative things as well as positive things.
Yes. Yes. I mean, COVID was a significant event because it's led to many changes in the way that we do things, the structure of society and everything. So that was probably significant event. Yeah,
I think so. I think it's safe to say.
Something that you will remember because it's had repercussions.
Maybe your wedding, maybe the day you got married, maybe the day your significant other became your husband or wife. Oh, very nice. So we can use that in many ways. I suppose also we can describe how important something is. So we might say the significance of something, how important something is. So the significance, you are maybe looking at a certain subject or an event, and you are deciding how important that particular thing was or is. So the significance of something is how important something is. So the significance of us moving here was important. It was a big event because you are changing a lot of the parts of your life that you've become used to. So if you live in one place for a long time and then you move somewhere else, it is a significant moment. There is a lot of significance involved with that event because it's seen as very important. So I think it's a good word to use, and we often use it in English when we are talking about things that are important. For example, Vitas yesterday was having a significant day because it was his birthday. Who else is having a birthday today then? Did you say?
Zelensky.
Zelensky?
The president of the Ukraine. And as I said, he's probably getting 200 tanks coming from various parts of Europe. So that'll be a lovely birthday present for him.
You seem to like talking about that part.
Well, I think it's significant that probably Germany are going to announce that they're going to allow these tanks to be used in the battlefield, because up until now they've been resisting doing that.
Isn't the UK sending tanks as well?
We're sending some Challenger tanks.
I think they said that ours are a bit heavy and they might sink in the mud.
They're a bit, yes. Apparently the Leopard tanks, although they're much older, they're much faster.
I saw them last night. They go really fast, and they've got a very interesting shape. The shape of them is quite different from what you would think of the tank that you see used in World War II.
They're fast, they're nimble, they're easier to maintain, and the weapons, the shells that they use are much easier. It's much easier to train people in using them. I think they're a much more practical tank, whereas our tank is a bit more difficult to learn how to use. And I think our tanks are sort of better protected with armoury, but they're not as good, to be able to use.
They're not as versatile.
Not as versatile, no.
That's good. Imagine that, though. Imagine having a tank and you could park anywhere. No one is ever going to argue with you on the road. Although you might say that the modern car, the large SUV car, which Mr. Steve hates.
Don't get me started. There'll be a significant event.
Mr. Steve hates SUVs. They are a little bit like small tanks driving around on the road.
Yes. Vilnius is separating its Palmyra 700-year birthday.
Who is?
Vilnius, the capital.
Oh.
Where Palmyra is.
So the place itself
is celebrating 700-year birthday. That's quite. That is momentous. Mohammed wants to drive a tank. I presume you mean a tank, not an SUV. Mind you, they're sort of the same thing.
Yeah, they're almost as heavy.
They're almost as heavy. That's what they ought to do. They ought to. Everyone in the West who's got a giant SUV should donate that for use in the war in Ukraine, because they're four-wheel drive. They can get to the battlefield and get troops there.
The only thing they're missing is the large gun on the top.
Well, you could probably put one of those on top, couldn't you?
Yes. Please don't give people ideas.
That's it. That's what they should do with SUVs. Everyone that owns one should be forced to give them up and send them to the battlefields in Ukraine to be used as a troop transport.
I often talk to my students.
I'd love to see loads of those being blown up by tanks.
Steve, can we move on?
Yes.
I often talk to my students about the significance of learning English by listening to native speakers, says Jurshid. So thank you very much. And he's actually sent the link to this live stream. So if there are any of your students or any students of Jurshid watching at the moment, hello to you, and I hope you are enjoying listening to this native English conversation.
And we will continue to do our best, and especially Mr. Duncan, to improve, which is somebody else mentioned that earlier. Carry on improving in what you do, because of course you mustn't stand still in what you do. You must always seek to improve on what you are doing. And I can't remember who it was.
I always try my best.
There it was, Emilio Lopez. There's a name that is very nice to say, Emilio Lopez. It comes off the tongue very easily, doesn't it? Unlike sash, who we now call double sash, because that's easier to say.
Okay. Well, that was fascinating.
I know.
Did you know yesterday, Steve, it was National Compliment Day?
Oh.
Yesterday, across the UK, we were encouraged to say nice things about other people. We were encouraged to say lovely things about each other, maybe the way we look, or maybe something that we have. Maybe we are wearing a beautiful new dress, and they say, "Oh, that is a beautiful dress that you're wearing. Where did you buy it from?" And that is a type of compliment. You are saying something nice.
Oh.
So yesterday across the UK, we were all encouraged to say something nice. So I want you to give me a compliment.
Mr. Duncan, you look 20 years younger than your actual age.
But is that a real compliment, or are you just patronising me?
Probably a bit of both.
Yeah.
No, I'm not really. But yes. But I didn't hear about this, Mr. Duncan.
Yeah?
Well, it wasn't. Was it on the news?
It wasn't on the news, no.
Exactly. So it wasn't a significant event.
No, but it was a thing that is done every year just to encourage people to be nice to each other. For example, I might say, Mr. Steve, that is a lovely shirt you're wearing.
Why, thank you, Mr. Duncan.
Where did you buy it from?
I had it as a birthday present from you.
From me?
Yes.
I was going to say, it must be a very generous person with good taste.
See where this is going?
Who bought this for you? They must be a wonderful human being. They really must.
Yes, compliments. And yes, it sort of helps the wheels of society turn. You know, just sort of helps people talking. And
or as Mr. Steve famously said, it moves the oil.
The oil of society gets moved.
It moves the oil.
There's nothing. Everybody likes compliments, don't they?
We
well,
do.
The thing is, it might have been Compliment Day yesterday in the UK, but I didn't know about it, and I don't know anybody else that did. So it can't have been very well advertised.
It was very much publicised on the internet.
Well, maybe everybody got confused and thought that it was the compliment, which is part of your immune system.
Oh, I see.
And they meant we're celebrating the compliment,
Yes.
which is something to do with your immune system. Now, don't ask me what it is.
No.
It's something to do with antibodies, but I can't remember
We've
what.
reached the end of Mr. Steve's knowledge on that
We
one.
might not even call it that anymore.
So to compliment someone, if you compliment someone, you say something nice. You offer a positive remark. And I think sometimes we are afraid to give compliments nowadays, especially if you are a man and maybe you are giving a compliment to a woman. So I think you have to be a little bit careful because it might be misunderstood as some sort of harassment or some sort of verbal assault. So you do have to be careful when you are giving compliments and who you give them to. Although it's been a long time since I've received any compliments personally, face to face, to be honest.
Because some people think that if you're complimenting their appearance, it's a chat-up line, don't they? Some not men. Men would soak it up. Oh, haven't you got a lovely muscular figure?
So if a woman compliments a man, he loves it.
He loves it. But if you say to a woman, oh, haven't you got a lovely figure? Sometimes the woman might be a bit offended, might think you're trying to chat her up.
What magnificent breasts you have.
Yes, that probably isn't, wouldn't go down very well.
Yes.
But unless, of course, they just had an enhancement.
Yes. Maybe they've made them larger.
Maybe they've just had some silicone implants and they're wearing a very revealing dress. And therefore, but would it be appropriate to make a comment on that? Probably not.
No, please. If there are any men listening, I know that Andrew Tate, a very famous influencer, he would probably say that that's okay. But here at English Addict, we are saying that it's not a good idea because you might get
get a slap.
A slap in the face.
There's a time and a place to say that. And of course, the other thing is if somebody is the phrase that you can use if a salesperson is giving you lots of compliments because they want you to buy something off them. They're buttering you up.
Yes, don't forget making compliments is a very big part of sales. So our backgrounds, mine and Steve's, our backgrounds are both involved in sales. And I do know for a fact that one of the things I was taught many years ago in my young days, say nice things to your customers. Say nice things, compliment them, and you often find that person will be more relaxed. So in sales, you will find compliments are often made to customers.
But you've got to, with experience, you can say it in a way that doesn't come across as false. So obviously, if you just meet somebody for the first time, a new customer, you don't sort of heap lots of compliments on there. Oh, what a lovely dress. Haven't you got a lovely room? Your business is fantastic, isn't it? What lovely staff. It's got to be genuine. It's got to come from a genuine desire to say something.
Yes, or maybe it is a real compliment. Oh, your hair looks good today. Oh, I was just admiring your hair. Isn't it lovely?
See, I learned as a salesperson that sometimes, even if there was something to compliment, it wasn't the right time or the place to do it because it could come across that you are complimenting them in the hope that they will buy something off you. And if the customer perceives it in that way, then you might not get the sale. Even if you were being genuine about it, it's probably best not to until you get to know them a bit better.
Mohammed Al-Fahad says cultures are different. A compliment in some cultures might be offensive in another. And I think this is true. So maybe if you are complimenting someone on their personal appearance, in some cultures that would actually be seen as offensive. Even though you are saying something nice about them and you are complimenting their appearance, their clothes, or maybe their face, it would be seen as quite disrespectful. So you do have to be careful, even if it's genuine. Your compliment might be genuine, but it could still be offensive.
Yes, you might not have any intention of trying to chat that person up or become romantically involved in. You just see something and you think, oh, what lovely hair or lovely skin or something. But you have to sometimes, probably best to say nothing until you get to know somebody better. But certainly going the opposite and telling the truth is probably not going to help either. You wouldn't meet somebody and say, "Oh, do you mind me saying? I think I don't like your hairstyle. I think you should change it. It doesn't suit you." You know, probably the worst thing you could say to a woman would be, "I don't like your hair." Is that the worst thing you could say?
I think it might be if you think that a woman is pregnant and she isn't.
It's another one.
Oh, hello there. Oh, I believe there are congratulations that I should be giving you. And the woman will say, why? They said, oh, well, you're pregnant. You appear to have a little...
When's it due?
Yeah, when is your baby coming? And the woman says, I'm not pregnant. No, this is just me.
Yes. So you are basically saying that person looks overweight.
Ooh, dear.
So that is the opposite of what you're trying to achieve.
So sometimes giving a compliment can get you into a lot of trouble.
Palmyra says, my hair always looks neat and tidy.
It does suit you. Some people, and this is something we've talked about, some men look good, bald, and I don't know how it works, yet other men, you see them sometimes, and their head is a very strange shape. Sometimes it looks like two heads have been joined together, and it has a strange sort of ripple in the middle. But Mr. Steve, I think you have a good head for baldness, so you're quite lucky there. I'm always jealous of black guys. Black guys always look great. It doesn't matter how old they are or what they look like. They always look great and cool, bald. Samuel L. Jackson. Who can wear a bald head any cooler than Samuel L. Jackson?
It always looks cool on black people.
I will tell you who. Mr. Steve wears it well.
Baldness, it always looks cool on a black guy, but on a white guy, unless it's really shaved very tightly, it can look a bit... Anyway, I think you know what I'm saying. Yes, Christina, as we've just mentioned, false compliments, saying something you don't really mean, can often be used to get something. You want something back in return from that person. Either you want them to buy something, or you're trying to get into bed with them, or something like that. So yes. And Darius says, your ears look gorgeous today. Oh, thank you. Oh, do you mean it?
Is it your?
Are you just trying to get round me?
Is it your ears though, or mine?
Yes, if you're trying to get round somebody, there's a good expression. Are you trying to get round me? In other words, are you trying to get a favour from that person? If you're trying to get round somebody, it means you're trying to smooch them, trying to get something from them.
Yes, well, you used a good expression earlier, to butter someone up. To butter them up, you are saying nice things because you want something from them.
You want something. Whatever it could be, you want something. Could be anything. It doesn't have to be, it could be anything. But you want something from that person.
Money, normally.
Could be money, yes.
To compliment someone. So let's have a look at some synonyms to compliment someone. You give praise, you give an accolade, like my accolade, maybe my praise that I received from YouTube. I received it in the form of an award. You give an accolade, you commend someone, you commend them, you give them a nice compliment, you say something to them. Maybe they did a very good job of something, maybe they are very good in their workplace. You extol. That's a great word. You extol a person's virtues. You are talking about their character and the way they behave, and you are talking about them in a very complimentary way. Exalt. To exalt someone is to honour them. You are praising them. You are being very complimentary. You are making compliments.
Yes, often used in religious tones, isn't it? Exaltation, to exalt the Lord.
Yes, high honour.
Yes, that's it.
You also laud someone. You laud them. So I think that's also used in the word applause. So you applause, you give applause, or you applaud someone. So Lord is also a compliment.
You can lord it up, can't you?
Yes.
You can lord it up, which means you're sort of bragging about yourself.
Yes, so it can be used negatively.
Yes.
And finally, the word honour can also be a type of compliment as well. You are saying something nice. Before we go, there is a common confusion that takes place in the English language between the words compliment and compliment. They are both pronounced in the same way.
Ooh.
So the word compliment, the way I've been describing it today, spelt with an I in the middle, means to praise someone. You give them a nice comment. You are pleasant towards someone. And then we have compliment with an E in the middle.
Ooh.
And this refers to suitable supplies for something. Maybe if you are in the army and you are going to an area where there is a war, you might need your complements, you might need your suitable supplies. And also, if you match something, things that match each other, they complement each other, they go together very well. And in the military, a group of service personnel might also be a complement as well, a complement of people, a complement of troops. And as I said, just two things that go together very well. Some people might say that we complement each other because we go together very well.
And man and wife, often in a marriage, two people are well suited in personality, and you say that they complement each other, not compliment. Yes, so two things matching together, they complement each other. Do you pronounce it much the same way?
Much the same way, to be honest with you. So complement. But generally speaking, when people are using these words in everyday English, they will be pronounced in a similar way. So I think there isn't any need to get too worried about the pronunciation. There probably is a slight difference, but to be honest, it's not worth worrying about. And that is almost it for today. We've almost come to the end of today's live stream.
Almost.
Almost.
Does that mean there's something else?
No. Well, there will be us saying goodbye. So thank you very much for your company today, and also your lovely words of praise, your compliments about my English live streams, and also about what is happening with my little award that I got this week from YouTube as well. We are back on Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time is when we're back with you. So we are back on Sunday. We will be here live. I will be here. Will you be here?
I will.
Ooh.
I don't think I'm doing anything on Sunday. I don't think I have any significant events
Oh, very good.
on Sunday, so I will be here. All being well,
Yes.
as they say.
All being well, we will be back with you on Sunday. Thank you very much for your company. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream, and we will be back 2 hours, by the way, on Sunday, a whole 2 hours. No one else does that on YouTube. We are the only people who do a 2-hour live English stream every Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time. We are going now. Thank you, Mr. Steve.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan, and congratulations again on your YouTube play button for 1 million subscribers. Thank you for all complimenting with an I, Mr. Duncan, on his achievement. And I look forward to seeing you all again on Sunday.
Thank you very much. All I have to say now is thank you very much for watching. Thank you for being with me, whether you've been with us for a couple of years, a couple of days, or for the whole 16 years. All I can say is you are very brave. See you on Sunday, and of course, until the next time we meet, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Until Sunday. Ta-ta for now.